Hi folks, hope you're doing well. Today I'm on the A6 on my way to somewhere near Buxton for a wedding. It's a really informal wedding, I'm looking forward to it, and it's mostly going to be outside with a bit of luck, but it's raining still. The rain is due to go off, so I'm hopeful that we'll be alright for that. The couple seem very keen on it, and of course I am, because it's easier when you're shooting outside, isn't it? Because the light's better, you can get around, it's easier to move. It's different as well. It's something different to what we would normally be doing, shooting in a church or a function room or something like that. So yeah, I really love outdoor weddings. I've got my change of footwear as well because it's wet. Anyway, what's prompted me to talk to you today is to do with positivity and the industry that we're in. And there's one of the good things about the wedding photography industry is that it's such a great community, or at least it can be. We have a lot of people who we're in touch with, people who we know do the same thing as us. They're in the same boat as us, if you like. They work from home on the whole. People are working alongside busy family lives. Personally, I have 3 kids. I work from home. My wife works full time. So I fit my wedding photography business around that. Of course, it's a Saturday today. I'm out working, which isn't great, but it balances out over the year. I have tomorrow off. I'm really looking forward to that, spending some time with the family. And it's good to have people to talk to bounce ideas off and to keep us going, if you like, because it can be quite lonely when we're working from home on our own. And yeah, it can be a really supportive and good community. But, and there's a big but here, a big bottom. There's a but. Something that I've noticed quite a lot is particularly in Facebook groups. Now, Facebook isn't brilliant, of course. It's very, as I mentioned in my last episode of Random Car Wafflings, Facebook and other social media really is not particularly a healthy thing, and it causes us sometimes to compare ourselves to other people, other businesses, other photographers, and there is a dark side to it, and it's quite subtle actually. What's happening is something that I've observed over the months and years, but I do feel like it's getting worse. And this year it's been a bit of an interest. Well, it's been an interesting kind of 4 or 5 years actually for the wedding photography industry, because if you're anything like me, your business is similar to mine. My business was booming 2019, coming into 2020, before COVID happened. And it's all changed since then, of course, and things have changed. The landscape has changed. People have different priorities, and business has changed. The way we do weddings has changed. Social media has changed. And we've come out the other side of the pandemic, dealing with all of this all at once, and things are happening quite quickly, and there doesn't seem to be any particular rhyme or reason to wedding photography bookings. So what you're getting a lot of at the moment is people in Facebook groups, and I do notice this even in Facebook groups that are meant to be on the whole positive, groups that are allegedly monitored or whatever the word is, that there can be a mentality of, oh, there's not enough weddings this year, it's really slow for everybody. And basically what it comes down to is this group mentality of people wanting to feel safe, and safety in numbers. And I've talked about this before, but let's say for example you go in one of the I don't know, an awards group or a conference group, and people are saying, who else is not getting any inquiries at the moment? And what they want to hear is, oh yeah, it's all right because not many people are getting married, or there's not many weddings, or there's too many photographers. And then anyone else who's having the same kind of issue with their business is saying, well, oh yeah, it's the same for me, and it's just because people are booking later, or people are still, there's a cost of living crisis. And what that does is it provides this safety in numbers, kind of. It's almost like a group of people patting each other on the back, saying everything's fine, don't worry about it, you know, we're all the same, we can all be miserable together. And what that does is it's extremely negative in many ways, and it focuses on the negative. And what it also does is it stops you from actually taking action on any potential issues that may be happening. One of the things that I hear quite a lot is, oh, people are ghosting me. I'm getting inquiries, but people just aren't getting back to me. So what that does in the group, people say in the group, well, does anybody else notice everybody ghosting them? And other people say, yeah, and people don't get back to me anymore. And it's just, people are just rude. People are terrible. But these people have inquired about wedding photography, and they've probably got in touch with a few wedding photographers, and they're probably booking somebody. But the people who they aren't booking, saying, yeah, it's fine, just the way people are these days. Don't worry about it. We'll just sit here and moan about them. And again, that stops you from looking at potentially what is it about your inquiry response, the way you're going about it, what language you're using, how you're doing it, what's your pricing structure, what's your offer, that potentially could be putting somebody off or not enticing them to get back to you, and ultimately they end up booking somebody else. But those people who they are booking aren't sitting in these Facebook groups complaining about why people aren't getting back to them. And it's these kind of fictions that we tell ourselves, it's these little stories that we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel all right about something that potentially isn't working. And because of this kind of group herd mentality, we can get stuck in a situation where we don't do anything about it. So my advice to you today is that when you see these negative posts in these Facebook groups, and you know what, Facebook, as I said, Facebook isn't great. I try not to go on it myself a lot, but it is good for some groups, and it's useful to keep up to date with the industry, to keep in touch with people. So I can't help it too much but to go on. I do try and limit myself to which groups. I don't tend to just scroll aimlessly, but I look at groups, wedding photography groups, all sorts of different kinds. Somebody invited me to one recently. They got in touch and said, do you want to become part of this? We're putting a group together of established photographers who, you know, we hopefully be able to kind of brainstorm and help each other out. And I've turned notifications off from this group for the time being, because it just ended up being negative, and it was those kind of posts. Who else is being ghosted all the time? Why are people not willing to pay the prices? And why are people having speeches between courses? People are asking me to do sparkler shots at 11:30 at night in the middle of summer, and just moaning about it. You know, we're in a great job here. I love what I do. Of course we can moan from time to time, but I think really we need to take a step back and realise that, you know, if you are shooting weddings and you have a decent number and it's paying your bills, then it's a really good place to be, and long may it continue. But the work needs to be put in to make that happen. So next time you see one of these posts in Facebook, you have a decision to make. You can decide to believe what you read, and you can decide to get sucked into it. You can decide to engage with it, or you can decide not to engage with it, not to waste your time with it, and spend that time looking at how you can improve your own situation if you feel like you agree with what's being said. Rather than joining in and just saying this is just the way it is, look at what's happening. And remember that the people who do inquire with you do end up booking somebody. So maybe have a look at why they would book somebody else. Look at your own systems, look at what you're saying. How quickly you're responding to inquiries, how you're doing it. Are you sending a text message? Are you sending a little video? Are you ringing them? Which I would always recommend, because what you need to be doing is something more than your competitors are doing. So again, agreeing with these Facebook posts that, oh yeah, that's just the way it is, that's the way people are, there's not many weddings going around, people don't have much money, it stops you from taking action and trying to improve things for yourself. Anyway, I hope that has been insightful and hopefully a little bit useful. Stay away from the negative. It's not helpful. It's detrimental to what you do. Stay positive and focus on the good stuff. Take action. Be proactive. All right, that's it. Cheers.